Oh gosh, look at the crowd.
Come this way.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
This is LMDtv, and I'm Fazmina Imamudeen. Tonight with us is Shiromal Cooray. Hello, Shiromal. I warmly welcome you to the show.
Hello, Fazana. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. What's your quick take of the state of the nation at this time? Are we seeing a slight improvement?
Yes, I think there is a slight improvement. I mean, considering that for the past 3 months, we've had Prime Minister, Finance Minister, and a President leaving. I mean, we couldn't have that kind of instability. So there seems to be a stability right now. And yeah, so to answer your question, yes, there seems to be some improvement.
How is the tourism industry coping in the midst of the crisis we face?
Well, I think the tourism industry is one industry that have had multiple crises going. If we go back, I mean, we've had a war, we've had a tsunami, we've had insurrections, we've had, I mean, it's list endless, you know, the list. So, and we've kind of learned to cope with each one, and we've kind of got over it. But the last 3 years, we've had one after the other. We had the Easter bomb attack and the COVID, and now this. So this is a little bit different because before we could get off from one, we had another and now another. So yeah, I do agree there are some people who are struggling. I mean, not some, I think all of us are struggling. And because we had a moratorium, which was coming off, and now payments have to be made. I mean, so there are lots of issues, but somehow we are managing, we are coping because we've had the experience in the past to cope, and I think most in the industry are optimistic. So we are confident that if tourism comes back, we will be able to recover very fast.
What strategies is the tourism industry adopting to mitigate the lull in inbound travel bookings?
Yeah, so as I said, I mean, fortunately, Sri Lanka has a variety of markets from which they get tourists. They're not dependent on one or two few markets. So when, say, India and UK and a couple of them are down and Russia is down, there are other markets that are performing relatively okay. So those markets are performing and there are tourists going around. The informal sector is also fairly, I would say, thriving. So we are doing our best to get people from different markets to whom this situation is not a problem. Yeah, so we seem to be going along, reducing our expenses, cutting down, and trying to manage within what we have.
How can local tourism be revived in the face of fuel rationing?
Yeah, so that's a huge problem because during the COVID, when international tourists didn't come, we had the local tourists coming. And for us at Jetwing, about 20 to 30% of our business, even in the best year of 2018, was from local tourists. So it's a very important market. Unfortunately, as you rightly said, with the fuel problem, things got a little difficult, and we had virtually like 5-6% occupancy from locals. So the rationing, I think, would help because at least now some people are getting fuel. I mean, as you can see, there are more vehicles on the road now and there are less queues. So which is a positive sign. And we feel that people will pool and they might travel together. And we are expecting, okay, not for there to be a huge influx, but people would travel because there are also people who are offering events and, so that people can share the transport cost, because cost is also high. So we're expecting people to, rather than go maybe two or three families would get together and travel. So maybe the travel patterns might change even with the local market.
On the human resources front, what impact is migration having on the industry?
It's a huge impact. I think that's one of the things that we need to be worried about or concerned about, because it's a skill that is in high demand, whether it's in the Maldives or Australia, Europe, wherever. Skilled hospitality workers are in demand, and especially the chefs, the butlers. They have a very easy way of getting jobs, and even for migration. So it is a concern, and because but the thing is, and then whoever is left over will be poached by some companies paying higher salaries. So I think we need to, or we are now constantly improving our training, getting more people trained so that they can go to their next levels. But yeah, it is a concern, but there's nothing we can do, unfortunately, because it's even salaries, we cannot increase salaries anymore. And it is actually, if you're young and somebody wants to go out there and make a living and expose themselves to what's available, I can't see myself, I'm talking for myself personally, trying to dissuade somebody from wanting to go out there and see what's available. So yeah, it's going to be a concern.
According to the SLTDA data, 106,000 tourists arrived in March 2022, but the number dwindled to less than 33,000 in June. Will the numbers continue to plummet, or can this be reversed? If so, how?
Yeah, so well, I think in July it increased marginally. So I'm confident that it will not plummet any further unless there's a further deterioration in the stability of the country, because we seem to be pretty stable at the moment. So if we carry, and we don't see the fuel queues like we did a couple of weeks ago. Fuel is available, even though rationed. The gas supplies, gas queues are less. So also there seems to be some kind of normalcy returning, I would say it within brackets, to the country. So that is a positive. Plus, we are not in the media out there anymore. For example, if you take India, LMDtv TV and beyond the social media channel, they were incessant about putting stories on Sri Lanka. It was always something burning, a long queue. These may have been things that were there about a month ago, but they kept playing them over and over again. So the general public, whether it's in India or Europe, they did think this was happening right now. So that was a huge problem for us. But I'm confident that with that lessening, because we hear it's now not so, not such a newsworthy item in India anymore. So with less of the negative being thrown out at the public, we are confident that things will return to normal. Rather than going down, it will increase.
How would geopolitical tensions in the world affect Sri Lanka in terms of tourism and FDIs?
Yeah, so that is another concern. If you take the Ukraine war, obviously the implications are severe. The fuel costs have gone up, not only for us. Even in Europe, if you take the UK, I think yesterday, according to the UK news, the fuel prices were going up 3 times more than they were anticipating it. So which means they will also have inflation, and they will have less spending money. And the first thing, obviously, at a time like that is to cut down on your travel. But having said that, we feel that with the winter, if it is more expensive for you to stay back home, it might be cheaper for them to fly to a warmer country like Sri Lanka, And Sri Lanka is not such an expensive destination. I mean, if you look at Maldives and Sri Lanka is much cheaper. So we feel maybe we may get some of that traffic coming over here during the winter months, because whether it's from Scandinavia or even the UK, because winters are pretty bad. And so they may cut or reduce other expenses, because I hear even some of the garment orders are getting less. So maybe they might cut that kind of discretionary spending, and hopefully this time around travel might rebound. So the other issue, of course, is also China and Taiwan. That's also a concern. Just like the Ukraine-Russia war, if there is, at the moment there is tension, if that blows out into something, unfortunate, that can definitely have effect, because, I mean, it's in our region, and if China is a huge market, and if there is some problem there, although China is closed at the moment, we're expecting it to open perhaps hopefully next year. So those can definitely affect us. Although it's beyond our control, it will have some implication.
What impact is the devalued rupee having on tourism?
Of course, a positive impact in terms of our earnings, because we are earning more rupee-wise, although the dollar earning is the same, rupee-wise we earn more. But having said that, our expenses, some of the expenses have also gone up in a relative way. So one of the ways in which we can minimize that or maximize the advantage of the rupee devaluation is by trying to limit the imported items we use in our day-to-day functions. So like if in a hotel, we minimize or completely cut the imported foodstuffs, or alcohol is something we cannot reduce. But if we reduce everything else, then our cost of raw material will be less. So then we can maximize the impact of the rupee devaluation. So, I think, and also for the tourist from another country, the price would become cheaper, or it will not go up. From most other countries, price of the holiday would have gone up this year, because I think they say hotel prices in overall internationally have gone up by about 8 to 10%. But in Sri Lanka, although it has gone up in rupee terms, when you convert it into dollar, it would be sometimes the same or even less. So as a result, we will become a cheaper destination, and even the tourists will have more rupees when they convert, when they bring their currency and convert here. So they will have more spending capacity in the country. So it will definitely have a positive impact on tourism.
The tourism industry is struggling as it has borne the weight of the pandemic and the economic downturn. And we appreciate your presence here today, Shiromal, and for the assurance that you've given us that the future is not hopeless. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Fazmina. Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching, and stay safe.